Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to swap out a toggle switch for a dimmer switch in just a few simple steps. Sam on Instagram asked me if I could film a video on how to switch a regular light switch with a dimmer switch. I'm going to show you, Sam, in this one, and it's not that hard. It starts here at the circuit breaker panel. If you're lucky, you've got a good labeled circuit breaker box. If not, you're going to have to do it trial and error until the light goes out while the light switch is on. In our case, small bedrooms, lights and plugs. That's probably it. Let me see. Number 11, we're going to try that one. Quick test. No light. We're good. There's no power going through this switch right now. Take off the wall plate. Then unscrew the switch. All right, I got to get my glasses. And then pull it out. A lot of the switches you're going to see will have the wire tightened down to a screw on the side. This one is newer and it has the push in and retain. If I try pulling on this, it won't come out. You have to put a little screwdriver into that hole or slot right next to it, and then it will release the wire and you can pull that out. With a small enough screwdriver, if I insert that in there and push, hopefully you can see that, I'm pushing in there, and when I do, it will release the wire and I can pull it out. Push in that hole and then pull out the wire and it lets go. The new switch I got has a toggle on and off, but the dimmer switch is this slide setting. This switch is also capable of being for a single pole, which this is. That just means you've got one switch for the light. If some rooms you've got a light switch where you come in over here and where you come in over there. That's called a three-way switch, and that requires a different switch. This one's geared for either configuration. In this case, we're doing it as a single pole, so I'm just going to put the wires here. I read the instructions to make sure that's the right orientation. This one does not have the push-in type, but it slides in behind the little brass bracket. Trying to hold it so that it goes behind there. It does. And then we'll tighten that down. For this one, we'll go over here and put it behind there. Ideally, I don't want a lot of wires sticking out. I probably ought to trim that a little bit. I think it's close enough, so I'll just push it in and tighten it down. And for my configuration, this should be good. Now, I can put it back in and then test it, which might be a little bit safer. As long as the wires are fixed and I don't have bare wires and I don't have the risk of putting them together, I'm going to go ahead and test it like this before I button it back up into the box. All right, let's see if it works. And it does. Let's see if the dimmer function works. Whoa, it doesn't. The bulbs that we have are non-dimmable. And if you're using energy efficient light bulbs, make sure they say dimmable on them. If they're not dimmable, they may be full bright even at the lowest dimmer switch setting. We've swapped out the non-dimmable bulbs for dimmable bulbs. Let's see how that does. Success. In my case, it'll be curious to see what the ceiling fan does when this is on variable power. But we'll deal with that in a different video. For now, let's just put this back together. I went down and turned off the circuit breaker again. You can see dimmer switch on, sliding a slider, no light. Just to make sure that I don't have unintentional contact in the box that causes a spark. Work with the wires a little bit, and they're stiff to get them back in there. This switch is a little bigger than the other one, so I actually have less room for the wires than before. You just have to work with it. Don't forget the glasses. Get the top screw started. Get the bottom screw started. And sometimes you can see if it's cocked a little bit going in. It's either how the wires are pushing against it inside the box, or in this case, my ground screw is by the side of the box and that might be hitting it too. So just let the threads tighten it up. A little bit at a time. Again, I have no power in this box right now, so I'm okay to finagle it with my screwdriver. Otherwise, don't do that if you got power in the box. Sam asked about installing a dimmer switch because he wants to help a 5-year-old boy not have to go from full bright to pitch black at bedtime. Now the cover plate? He's pretty sure he can do it, but asked for this video just in case. Turn the circuit back on. Sam, I hope this helped you figure out how you can change your switch from a toggle switch to a dimmer switch. Remember, everybody, you're not done until you've cleaned up. Here's one more stepdad trick. When you've got good components that you're not using, I save those in different boxes. Like this one's plumbing, this one's electrical. I'm going to toss this good switch that I'm not currently using into the electrical box, just in case I need it sometime in the future. The other trick is, very seldom do I look at the instructions after it's installed, but occasionally you need them. I save user instructions manuals in a tote out here in the garage, just in case I need those in the future. Sam, what you are doing is very cool, helping that 5-year-old friend of yours not be afraid in the dark in his bedroom. If this looks a little challenging to you, there is another alternative, a nightlight. That might be a little easier. But either way, what you're doing is fantastic. You are the kind of person that makes the world a better place, and I commend you for that. This channel is geared for men that have grown up without a dad. If that's you, then I hope you'll subscribe. And always remember, you can still figure out how to succeed in life, even if your dad hasn't been there to show you how. And you do have a dad that loves you. And I'll see you on the next video.